Hello and welcome back to what will now pretty much be the concluding segments of Hot Pursuit 2. And what I mean by that is, well, we have still got some cars left to unlock, and if you watched the last episode, and I'd imagine a lot of you probably didn't, but if you did watch the last episode, you would probably know that we completed both the Ultimate Racer and Championship event trees, and I probably will have to go back and do some grinding at some point, but I'm not going to be doing that during this segment because, well, we have some other cars to unlock. So, at the moment, we have a total of 38 cars in our roster, and one of the most recent models that we unlocked was the NFS edition Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Along, of course, with a bunch of other NFS edition cars, going as far back as the Lotus Elise. So, we still need to unlock the other 11 cars, and I have just under 3 million NFS points, and basically I'm going to be doing these in order. So, as you can clearly see there, that is the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Can't really say I'll be getting on with that race too soon because there's a couple of others that need to be done first. So, basically, the challenge mode is basically on the default difficulty of advanced, and a lot of these, I would imagine, are going to be pretty easy to acquire. I'm also pretty sure that the possibility of me acquiring more than one car from doing one race, at least the first race that is pretty much what I would consider to be a certainty because I'm almost at 3 million NFS points anyway. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have a look at my setup, and I'm also going to make sure that everything is in order. Yep, that all seems fine. And it will be a single race, yep, advanced skill player. Advanced difficulty, because that's the default difficulty, and I think to open this up, I'm going to use one of my NFS edition cars, and I'm a little torn on which car I should start this with. Sure, yeah, you know what? Let's start this off with the Elise. Sure, classic, why not? And we can basically head out to all of these babies. And I think, just to start with, I'm gonna head straight over to... yeah, let's go to National Forest. And yep, 2 laps. Got a little bit confused there, but it's fine, because we've got all the settings we need. I just need to lead 2 laps, and then we should be fine. And this is our starting grid, so without further ado, let's get to it. Let's do 2 laps of National Forest Reverse in the NFS edition Lotus Elise. Whatever you thought you saw on that previous attempt, you did not just see. Oh, and I think I wrecked someone. Or someone definitely wrecked back there, but I couldn't tell who that was. Anyways. It might have been Dom, because we did make some pretty heavy contact whilst I was taking the shortcut, and he was basically trying to force me off the road, but Dom was the one who sustained the worst damage from that. But anyway. Yeah, you're not the only one who knows how to honk the horn. Who's behind me again? I got a feeling it's Wayne, but I'm probably wrong with that assumption. And someone just landed on my rear end. I honestly could not tell who that was. But someone definitely landed on my rear end. I'm also glad to say he did not force me into the air. So basically what happened was, things were going well until suddenly, whilst I was in mid-air, I made contact with the median whilst in mid-air, and basically after that, well, the rest was history, and I basically wrecked myself. And if you want to know what that means, well, basically it means that even though I was putting together a good run, I basically had to collide with the median in mid-air, and as a result, well, it basically caused my car to go into an endless spin. And even when I was on the ground, I was basically still spinning. Which basically meant that the previous attempt essentially didn't count. And since I'm not going to get any clean lap points for this, even though everything was pretty much going perfectly until I collided with that median whilst in the air. I know that you do have to drive a couple of clean race runs in order to unlock some of these cars. Well, at least it means I'll get bonus points for winning. So, I know that's not going to be too much of an ask. Just depends on knowing this time if I can manage to hold on. And it is Juan who is right behind me and battling for the race lead ahead of Wayne and Liv. And gonna take the shortcut because if I don't, he'll just be all over me, which is what I don't want. And there we go.
The winner!
Had to make some corrections, but I got there eventually.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the Lamborghini Murcielago.
Oh, alright. I'm going to assume that's the car I unlocked from claiming 3 million NFS points. I'm going to assume I unlocked another one as well.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the Mercedes CL55 AMG.
I was correct. I did unlock 2 cars from that race. I'm going to assume the Merc was the car I won from winning this race, and the Murcielago was the car that I won from acquiring 3 million NFS points.
You've set a new record for this track.
And yep,
You beat the course record.
yeah, whatever. Okay, well, let's now go and check out our 2 new cars. Since I kind of knew I was going to unlock more than one. So, let's go and check them out. So this is the first one we win from the 2-lap single race victory that we just claimed. The NFS edition Mercedes-Benz CL55 AMG, and if I head somewhere up here there should be the Murcielago. Here it is. The NFS edition Lamborghini Murcielago. I'm also pretty sure this shade of green will likely give some of my viewers Midnight Club 3 vibes, because it just seems so vibrant with the Lamborghini Murcielago from Midnight Club 3. Or at least that's what I think, but anyways, yeah. So, those are the 2 cars we've now unlocked. And now I'm going to move on to my next event, which will be a knockout. So, yep. Okay. And okay. And, well, just because I don't want to make this too long, I'm going to give myself just 3 opponents, and I think the car I'm going to use this time amongst the NFS models is I want to use the Ferrari 360 Modena, because why not? Sure, why not, this'll work. And if I just check again, I only need to win the knockout. Yeah, that's right, okay. So I only need to win a knockout in order to do it. And there is nothing else regarding the knockout unlock, so that's about the only one. Okay, I'm now going to head back to my Ferrari. And this time, which one should I head to? Well, I just went to National Forest, so it's probably wiser for me to not head over there again. Well, you know, I might just stick to National Forest for now, just because, well, I want to get the... Just because I really want to get the easy unlocks out of the way, so I'll continue at National Forest for now, just because it'll make this easier. And in terms of our competition, we've got an Aston Martin Vanquish, a 360 Spider, and a 550 Barcata. Okay. I think it's only 2 laps for each, if I'm not mistaken, so we should be okay. Yeah, it is only 2 laps. Okay. I also know that there's no need to worry about any clean race bonuses for now, because I have a feeling this is not going to be too hard for me to get the next car, because basically the only thing I really need to worry about is just winning the knockout overall. Even though I would like to win every race that's available to me. Oh, and I think I just wrecked the Vanquish. He was definitely looking there on the outside, and yep, that's a fence. Oh well, it's fine. getting some air points. I probably should have chosen to head to the normal National Forest course, but well, I chose not to. But that's okay, because I just need to win the knockout, and then basically I'll pretty much have all my things in order. Although that does also come with the providence of me being able to keep my car under control long enough. He almost ran me into the bridge, but I somehow managed to avoid the accident that would have likely been huge. In other words, I basically would have totaled my car if I was not immediately on it. And the Vanquish is now back up into second position, ahead of the Barchetta, and the Spider at the moment, well, he is basically nowhere. At least it looks like he's nowhere. But anyway. I only chose National Forest for now because I know it's basically the shortest course I can head to, and also because, well, I don't want a lot of these unlocks to take me too long to acquire because, well, I know once I'm done with this, there's going to need to be me doing some grinding with the event that I did earlier in the game, so I can basically get some more NFS points on my roster. Of course. Fuck my ass. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen the Ferrari 360 Modena for this, because already things at the moment are going very poorly. At least in terms of my execution, along with my skill of just literally trying to keep the car itself under control. And basically trying to do all of this without having a very huge accident. I'm going to shut my mouth now, for at least the next minute. Very unhappy with what just happened. Fuck me. Well, I guess that's why they call me an accident-prone driver. Because that's basically what I seem to be doing a lot of at the moment. Accidents. And I'm in the fence again. And I just mean literally in the fence. Well, at least I can say there's no other requirements when it comes to winning a race knockout, aside from winning. There's nothing else I really need to do aside from that, which I'd say is a good thing. So, where the hell is the Aston Martin going at the moment? Oh, he is behind us. Okay, I must have been thinking of the Barcatta. My mistake. And yes, I am getting some air points because, well, I figured they might be important. It would also help if I can stop scraping the guardrails, because then maybe I'll be able to do this properly. I did not think the spider was that close to me, but I did not think the 360 spider was quite that close to me, but either way, it doesn't matter.
You've qualified for the next round of knockout competition.
Wow. He was just 2.3 seconds faster than me.
You've beaten the lap record for this track. You set a new course record.
I'd imagine that's going to be broken. I'd imagine that's going to be broken again. Anyways. Trying to acquire car number 3 of the segment, and Ashley has been eliminated. So now it's just 3 Ferraris, 2 360s and 1 550. As we are now at Scenic Drive. I'd assume the courses must change. They must be picked out at random, is what I think. Well, at least I can say... Well, at least I can say it's better for me to feature more than just the circuits this game has to offer. It also gives us the point-to-point tracks as well, which I think is pretty useful. And already scraping the guardrail. What a surprise. I'm also pretty sure this is probably going to be a 2-day project. Because, well, I'm going to be winning some of the cars today, and I'm going to be winning the other cars another day, because, well, energy-wise, I'm not really feeling my best. But that doesn't mean to say I'm not fit enough to drive these things. Because for a lot of them, I'm going to need to drive some pretty clean races and also basically lead all laps. Which, as you can imagine, is going to be difficult. But on the bright side at least, the one thing I don't have to worry about is doing some clean race lapping. That of course will be coming later on. Aside from me trying to acquire the last couple of cars by winning them. Oh shit, okay. Yep. I did not think I was going to save my car, but I'm so glad at the end of the day I did. I saved it this time. Although I can't really say it's part of what I like most about this job, because, well, you do need tons of concentration. You also need to prove that you are in it to win it.
You've qualified for the next round of knockout competition!
I've also decimated the previous record, believe it or not. And the spider is out.
You beat the track record!
Not bad. Well, actually, I decimated the track record. Okay, well, anyways. Final race of the challenge mode knockout. And we are at Scenic Drive once again. No, I'm okay with this. Just depends on knowing if we can do any better than we have been doing. So far at least. Which is practically what I'm hoping for. So, you know. And immediately opening this up with... Oh, we're on the same portion of Scenic Drive that we were on literally in the last race. Well, at least it means I won't have to worry about making the same mistakes I did before. Although I can certainly imagine there's going to need to be some edits. I'm also going to assume that must have been an adjustment that the capture card was probably making. Wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. If there was a reason for the screen bounce. But, no, I'm fine with it. It's just a matter of me making sure that I can pay attention long enough. Which is what I'm trying to do here. So, you know. Figured I had to downshift there for a moment in case if the car itself did veer to the left, but either way, it shouldn't matter because I said it. I should also mention, if you're looking for how to get the cars that you unlock via clean laps, then what you need to do is, I highly recommend you use a slower car than this, because from what I've learned, slower cars in this game are more stable, and thus you will have a much stronger shot of making your moves the right way, because you've not got to worry about as much speed with the car itself. And, hey, it's Mika who's driving the Barchetta. Isn't that interesting? It's okay, it's fine. I have the advantage.
You won the knockout!
And that should give me my next car, I think.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the Ford TS50.
Alright! I got the NFS Ford TS50 as a result of beating the knockout in challenge mode.
You've got a top time for this track.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, moving on. And trying to make sure that I don't do the mistakes I've been making so far. So, let's get a look at our next car. Once I can find it in here. Wow. You know, I gotta say, this thing actually looks really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I actually really like the way this thing looks with the body livery and the checkered flags that I see. This thing actually looks really cool with these decals, if I do say so myself. Okay. Well, anyway. Next. Lead all laps in a single race. One player, 4 laps, World Racing Full Grid Advanced. To unlock this car for challenge mode. Right. Okay. Well, at least I can say the settings are specific. Okay. So I am on the World Racing screen. Okay, so setup is full grid. So the setup is full grid, World Racing, and advanced. Okay. And it also needs to be a single race. Is that right? Let's check. And yes, it is. Okay. It does need to be a single race. And you know what? I'm going to use the car I just won. Because I figure that may be the most appropriate way. And I'm going to head to... Where's Coastal Parklands? It would be really nice if I could get to Coastal Parklands. Ah, here it is. Okay. Okay, let's go. And... yep, 4 laps. Alrighty. Let's see how we go. I'm also hopeful in saying this event will not take too long. But anyways. Coastal Parklands in my NFS edition Ford TS50. Let's see how we do. Hopefully this will not take too long. It would also be really nice if I could get the full clean race as well. Not to say that is going to be the case, but it's one thing that I'd certainly like to do. If that becomes possible. But either way, not doing too badly at the moment, because I'm already leading, and But this time, I'm less than a minute into my first lap. I think what you need to do to get the clean race bonus is basically just to not hit anything. And if you can successfully achieve doing that, whilst also leading every lap in the race, then my understanding is you should be good. But there's never any guarantees in saying that it will be that way. And I just wrecked. Well, I knew I wasn't going to get the clean race bonus, but at least I can say there's the possibility of me getting the lead all laps bonus, which is kind of what I'm looking for out here. This car has basically got a fifth gear that is about as long as the Nürburgring, and I hit a top speed in the end of 164. Although depending on the decimals, that's probably going to be, I would say, either 164 or 165, because the top speed, at least from what I understand at least, if you do math, you know that, well, if the decimal of the number is basically 0.50 or higher, then you basically know that the overall figure is going to be higher. Then you basically know that the overall number is going to be higher. Than the actual number. I will not let you lead. Not like this. I'm also forgetting to honk the horn again. Oh well. I don't think that really matters right now because I'm too busy focused on my race and making sure that everything goes well from here. Hey!
That's a new lap record!
I broke my previous lap record and I also set a new top speed. This time of 165, which probably means that the overall number is going to be 166. I think. But yes, I'm still out in front here at Coastal Parklands. I do now have the new lap record, which I just set in my NFS edition Ford TS50. Figured it would be worth it for me to use this car at least once because that's just how cool looking this car is. I'm getting a lot of top speed points at the moment and still not able to make the shortcut. But it's fine because so on the brakes here for that little chicane, at least I think that's a chicane. Maybe awkward to some, but it isn't awkward to me because, well, I know where it is now, and still doing pretty well at this stage, if I do say so myself. And it is live who is behind me. Isn't that remarkable? We're gonna set another new lap record.
Well done! You've set a new lap record!
Oh hey, I actually get some clean lap points for once, which surprises me. Well, just ashamed to say that I was not clean enough to get through the first 2 laps. Which is unfortunate, but it's fine because there's still plenty of time for me to get the other cars whilst I'm working on it. Or at least trying to work on it. So you know. I wouldn't say it's all doom and gloom. Even though I am going to have to make sure that I do get the clean race rewards eventually. Because I do have to drive clean in order to unlock the rest of these cars. And I've established how to now take the chicane correctly. I basically just need to step on the brakes and downshift. And then I should be fine. So, just got 1 corner left, and revving this up as high as I can. Trying to see if that gives me any further speed. It probably won't, but I'm prepared to try.
You've won the race!
I got a lot of top speed points in that race.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the Vauxhall VX220.
Alright, so we got the NFS edition VX220 now. Nice. And I won in the end by 2 seconds over Alexis. Ashley 3rd, followed by 1. Then it was Mika 5th ahead of the 2 other TS50s of Liv and Dom. I clearly had the highest overall speed, 166. And it was Wayne who finished dead last.
You've set a new record for this track!
Well, sucks to be him, I guess.
You beat the track record!
Not bad. Not that bad. Well, actually, I demolished my previous track record. I guess that's also because there aren't any cops about, but, well, that's by the by. Anyways. We have now got the NFS edition, the X220, which is right here. And is literally the same as the Opel Speedster, except for saying that this model does not have the roof up. So, yeah, don't really know what else to say. Okay, so still got another 7 to win, and the next one requires me to get a clean race. Okay, so one of these requires me to do 8 laps in a single race and basically lead every single lap, and the other 2 require me to drive clean races. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move over to the... yeah, let's move over to the VX220. And I'll probably just head back to National Forest and do the forward course. Just gonna check the requirements again because I need to be sure. Okay, so 4 laps, clean race, that's all I need to do. Okay, I know what it is I need to do now. And... sure, why not? National Forest, 4 laps. Okay, so I need to drive a clean race here at National Forest. And even though I could probably reduce the number of cars on track to make this easier, I still want to at least make this a challenge. So that's basically what I'm doing here. Okay, let's go. We have 42 of the 49 cars now on our roster. And hopefully, if it's possible, I can manage to get the clean race bonus, since I am using a car with good handling.
You've set a new record for this track.
Yeah, you know what, it might be easier if there's less opponents on the track, because it feels like with a full grid, I'm just asking for trouble. So I'm going to put this down to... yeah, let's put this down to 1 opponent. Unless the requirements are me having to literally put in a full grid. Okay, there's nothing that says anything about a full grid, so 1 opponent will be fine. And traffic off. I'm also going to turn the catch-up off as well, just to be safe. Okay. Okay, let's try this again, and maybe this time I can actually achieve some success. Alright, a 2-race field this time, and hopefully if it's possible there will be a lot less trouble. Although those will probably be my famous last words. But anyway. At least I get some more Need for Speed points, which manages to answer one of my questions. So I reckon if there's only 2 of us, this should be this should be a bit easier now than it was before, because if there is less competition on the racetrack, then what that also means is there's less opportunities for trouble. And I just hit a sign. Oh well. At least I can say it's better than having to cope with a Ford TS50. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I forgot with the player it's only the police cars that have the boost mechanism. I forgot that the circle button is for the horn. I did turn off the catch-up boost, by the way, because, well, I figured that might cause an issue or two, and that's part of the reason why I'm already this far ahead, because I want to make my job easier. Alright, got my first clean lap, and since the catch-up mechanism is off, or in other words the rubber banding mechanism is off, this should be a bit easier now for me to unlock my clean race first car. Yeah. For me to unlock my first car from achieving a clean race. If you're wanting to ask why I'm so far ahead, well, it's because I disabled the catch-up mechanism, which I know that if I did not turn that off, it would just be giving me all sorts of problem and grief. It would give me all sorts of problems and grief, which I personally don't need. So, yeah. I should also mention, this is making my job feel a bit easier than it was before. Because it feels like I might be able to get out and put in some clean runs now.
That's a new lap record!
And I still wind up beating my previous lap record. Or in other words, I set a new lap record. Which I can't really say surprises me that much. But whatever. I'm out in front, and that's all I care about. My only question now is, can I keep a hold of my race lead long enough for me to get the clean run? Hopefully that becomes a reality. But there's still one lap left before I'm entirely sure. I also know that hitting road signs do not inflict the possibilities of not achieving the clean laps. You basically just need to not run into any immovable objects, which is basically what my plan is here, or what I at least try to do. So yeah. Alright, final lap. I know this is probably the easiest way for me to technically do things, but at this stage, I just want to make sure that I not only get a hold of the cars I win, but I not only need to be sure of knowing if I'm actually going to get the machine, it's also a case of me knowing if I can secure the machine. Because even though to some people this might be very boring, the truth is If you want to do this the less stressful way, like I technically do, then this is technically the best way to do things, regardless of what you may think. I always say it's better to enjoy a video game than it is to get stressed out at a video game when you don't need to. And it looks as though I am going to conjure together a full, clean, 4-lap race. I'm also going to win this race in the end by basically a country mile. In other words, I'm basically going to win this race way out in front. Or in other words, I'm basically going to win this race by an absolute decimation.
You win!
Okay, now providing I did everything correctly, that should unlock.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the HSV Coupe GTS.
Alright, we have now got the Holden Coupe GTS in our roster of cars, which is a good thing because I've kind of been wanting this. Alrighty. We are doing well.
You've beaten the lap record for this track.
So we still have another 6 cars to unlock,
You set a new track record.
and I beat my previous track record. Probably because there were nowhere near as many cars out on the racetrack. Well, anyway. Let's get a look at our new car. Once I can find it. Oh, it's right next to the Vauxhall. So here is the Holden Coupe GTS, also known as the Holden Monaro, or the Pontiac GTO if you live in America, because this car is also quite widely based off of a Pontiac GTO. At least if you're wanting that side of the information. So, you know, there is that. So we still have another 6 cars left to unlock, and it looks as though the other ones here, so 4 of these can be unlocked from NFS points. I'll probably have to do some grinding to get those. And the other 2 here, well, they require me to officially score me leading all laps, as well as also driving a fully clean race in the same context. So, yeah. 43 cars have been unlocked, and we still have another 6 cars to unlock. And so, with that, I shall be right back. Alrighty then. So let's continue our drive through challenge mode, as the other car unlocks will, of course, be coming during the off segment hours. I might also consider showing off the unlock notifications for each of those cars if I'm in the mood for it, but well, anyways. So our next one is leading all laps in a single race, and it has to be 8 laps. But in order for us to unlock 2 cars from doing one race, we also need to make this a clean race. So it's honestly pretty hard to tell which one will be the best car to use, but, well, I'm gonna take a punt with the Mustang, just because, well, I've been wanting to use the NFS Edition Mustang ever since I unlocked it, and, well, it's also because, well, personally, I just love this car. And as for the conditions, well, they're clearly not going to change. We're going to go to Coastal Parklands, and we are going to do 8 laps around Coastal Parklands, but hopefully this should be pretty easy, because the one thing we do not have to worry about is rubber banding. Although I doubt this is going to be a clean race attempt. So we've got 4 Aston Martins, 1 BMW, 1 Ferrari, and 2 Mustangs. That, including me, of course, in terms of the overall grid. So, let's see how we go. And since I know the catch-up mechanism is off, hopefully things will go smoothly. But I cannot make any guarantees in saying it will stay that way. Although if I don't manage to get the rewards I'm looking for, then my best option will basically be to switch over to a smaller car. Some results. Is this going to be a clean lap? And no, it isn't. Oh well, I'll just have to try again. Because I want to be committed to the cause. I also want to show that it is possible to get 2 rewards for simply doing 1 race. Or at least trying to, which is what my, I guess you could say, philosophy is. A little bit of context there from the BMW, but it's okay because I'm closing in on the leaders. I'm now into 3rd, now 2nd. I'm looking to overtake the Aston Martin for the lead. I know that the catch-up mechanism is turned off, so rubber banding is not going to be an issue. I just need to make sure that whatever happens from here, I put together a solid but clean race, basically. Unless I have to unlock both of these cars separately. But I do know they're both. But I do know, aside from one of my cars that I win, is the Merc CLK GTR. The other car, which I know I'll unlock from this, providing I do everything correctly and I do not crash too much or hit any immovable objects. And that does include the side doors as well. Hopefully I should be able to do everything right this time. And yep, I've set my first clean lap of the race. Now I just gotta try and see if I can do that 7 more times. Although, personally, I'll be amazed if I do. But only time will tell for sure. I know that hitting the road signs is not going to be a problem, because I can basically hit those anytime as long as I don't hit the walls on either side of the track. I should be okay. Except for saying, of course, that I am having to do circuit races basically to unlock most of these cars. And then, basically, once I'm done with that, the next thing I'll more than likely be doing is probably clipping myself unlocking cars it'll probably be me clipping my unlocks of each of the cars that will likely be preceding the next segment, showing of course that I do at least remember to keep on track with the vehicles I unlocked by keeping on track with the vehicles I unlock via acquiring enough NFS points.
Lap record!
Oh hey, I set a new lap record as well. This is solely an experiment, by the way. I'm trying to see if it is possible for me to do it with the Mustang. And I am glad to say the catch-up mechanism is off, because it at least means the AI will not attempt to dive bomb me. And of course, whenever there's dive bombing in this game, there's normally accidents. And when there's accidents in this game, it means you're basically denied from getting the rewards you want. But I am trying my damnedest to make sure that does not happen. It's also because I know the racetracks in this game are pretty wide as well, so we should be okay, providing I can keep my concentration up for long enough. Hey, I just hit 169 nice in the tunnel. And hard on the brakes for the little chicane. Of course, I'm pretty sure that looks like a chicane. And both myself and Mika in the leading Ferrari are pulling away from the rest of the pack. Dom is third, ahead of Juan, who I think is driving one of the Aston Martins. Yes, he is. He's driving the leading Vanquish. And 3 laps are down here at Coastal Parklands. And I still need to keep my concentration up
You set a new lap record!
I still need to keep my concentration up for the next 5 laps. Well, at least I can say, unlike the previous race I did, Mika is at least managing to make it a close race. A clean race, but it is a close race nonetheless, because she's only 3 seconds behind me. And whilst some people would be expecting there to be tons of contact, well, sometimes there are certain adjustments you have to make in order for the contact to not be obvious, and also so the chances of you acquiring the rewards you want are more likely to happen, which is virtually the main reason why I turned off the catch-up mechanism, because if I didn't, then, well, this race would pretty much be a chaotic barn burner. And we would literally just be jockeying and wrecking each other for the race lead. But since there is a mechanism that can turn the rubber banding off, that is precisely what I want to do, and at the moment it's what I am doing. Just trying to make sure that I keep myself in with a solidly good but clean race. And it now looks as though I'm slowly pulling ahead of Mika. which does kind of relieve me, which basically does relieve me of any pressure. Of course, I know this might be the easy way out, but sometimes it's better to take the easy way out than it is to take the hard way out. And also because, well, because of how ball-busting it was for me to just literally finish Midnight Club 2, I'm basically trying to make sure this does not become a similar case to Midnight Club 2 in terms of the trials and tribulations. In other words, I want to make absolutely sure that the rewards I require are also certified rewards. I know to some people this might be boring, but again, I'm basically showing you the easy way out and also showing you that if you are a good enough driver, or at least trying to show you if you are a good enough driver, then it is possible for you to acquire enough consistency, and if you've had enough experience with the game, then it is possible for you to get the clean race runs fitted. And that's part of the reason why at this time I'm currently so far ahead that literally no one can catch me. But again, sometimes you have to take the easy way out in order to get the rewards under less sizable circumstances. And it's also because, well, until I cross that finish line, I'm not going to be able to say that I've managed to win 4 cars from 2 races. I also know there's going to be at least one race I'll need to do where I'm basically going to need to hang on a ramp.
That's a new lap record!
And I just set a new lap record. Alright, 2 laps to go. Here at Coastal Parklands, as I have just seen a manhole in the road. At least I'm pretty sure that looks like a manhole. Anyways, heading past the lighthouse and slowly pulling away from Mika, who looks to be my closest opponent at this stage. I'm slowly pulling away now because the rubber banding mechanism is turned off, so this can be my easy way out. And then once I'm done with this, I can basically just focus on point grinding, because that is how I will get the last 4 cars. So yeah, that's basically what my plan is. So everything is going solidly well, and providing I don't totally lose my head on this lap or the final lap, then I reckon we should be good. And I reckon that with the right tweaks, I will have been, at the very least, competent enough to show you just how you can take the easy way out. Not to say that's something you have to do, but if you think I make some good points with the setup tweaks, then I reckon you could probably try something similar. Mika is still in second, isn't she? I'm pretty sure she was driving the Ferrari Spider, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she is still second. Oh, and this time it's Liv that's in fourth in the leading Vanquish. And the Mustang has now retaken fourth. And I think it's Dom who is driving the top BMW. I'm also pretty sure he's the only BMW in this race. Well, still inside the top four at least. But anyway. I continue to lead here at Coastal Parklands. I've now just got a few corners left before the end of the race. And as long as I can do everything that I have been doing up to this point in the race, then we should pretty much be gas and goes from here. As I head through the smoke screen, getting a little bit of oversteer there on the corner exit, but it's okay. Nothing serious. And on the final stretch, and no new lap records, but it doesn't matter because
You place first!
I've done 8 laps and I've done everything accordingly.
You've unlocked the Need for Speed edition of the Ferrari F50.
Let's go! Let's fucking go. We now get the NFS edition F50. I also believe that gives us the CLK GTR as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. Oh, we just got the F50 then. Okay. Well.
You've beaten the lap record for this track!
Actually, on second thoughts, don't I technically unlock the Mercedes because I led all 8 laps? I'll have to check.
You set a new track record!
Yeah. Also the only time I'm actually going to set 8 laps around a racetrack. Well, I might as well... Well, I guess whilst I'm here I might as well get a thumbnail just whilst I'm here. I also do this because, well, it shows you how I get my thumbnail action and how I get the clickbait shots I get. So, you know, there is that. I'll have to check to be sure, but I think we do unlock the Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think we do unlock the Mercedes. At least I'm pretty sure we do. And not really getting any tunnel shots, unfortunately. No, I'll probably just take this for 1 lap and then after that everything else should be fine. Although this game didn't actually reveal I unlocked the Mercedes. Well, I'm going to assume the game itself must not have been bothered to reveal that I unlocked the CLK GTR. That's just my assumption though. Anyways. I've beaten the endurance test. Okay, I think that should do it. Alright. Let's now go and check out our new cars. And yes, I will now save the game here. So let's go and check out our 2 new cars. And this will also be where I end the segment, because, well, the other ones I'll basically be doing during the grinding hours. So we've got 45 cars on our roster, and yep, these are the only cars left to unlock. And all of these will require NFS points. However, for 3 of these next 4 cars, I will be showing you the catch to unlocking each of these cars. So, from leading all 8 laps at Coastal Parklands, we get the NFS Edition Ferrari F50. Also, you honestly didn't think I was going to do an endurance race in this game without using the NFS Edition Mustang at least once. I mean, come on. The clue is literally in the name of my channel. If you want to know why I chose the Mustang. So yeah. So that's the F50, and if I just head over here, yep. It's the last of our normal car. It's the last of our normal cars of this game. The Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. So yeah, pretty cool car altogether. I'm also going to have to do some grinding before the next episode because, well, I figure that's probably the best way for me to do it. It'll also make my job easier as well. So yeah, that's the CLK GTR, and now we have just 4 cars remaining. All of them are likely NFS Edition cars. And I've won 7 of the 11 cars that we still need to unlock. And that will do it for this episode of Hot Pursuit 2. And next time, it will be the finale. And with that, stay tuned for more of Hot Pursuit 2.